Today, President Donald Trump is pushing back after the Supreme Court of the United States handed his administration a major defeat on tariffs. In a 6-3 decision, the High Court ruled the president does not have the authority to impose sweeping tariffs under a 1977 emergency powers law he used to levy taxes on nearly all U.S. trading partners. The ruling came after companies, including the educational toy maker Learning Resources, argued the tariffs would devastate their business.
We're feeling vindicated. We felt that the tax was an unlawful tax, and we're excited to see the Supreme Court take a very strong stance in favor of the equal application of law to all of us.
Despite the ruling, Trump says he plans to keep his tariff policy in place by imposing a new 10% global tariff under a different statute. But what does this mean for the economy and for your wallet? Joining us now live is Dr. John Barrett, political science professor at LeTourneau's University, to break it all down. Dr. Barrett, thanks so much for joining us. Let's get into the big picture first. What exactly did the Supreme Court decide here, and why is it significant?
So the issue here is who has the authority to place a tax, right? That's what a tariff is. The Constitution says that only the Congress can place taxes on items. Trump was using certain laws that gave some authority to the president to set taxes, to set tariffs on that, but it was a little bit of a stretch because it wasn't exactly what those laws were intended for. And so what the Supreme Court did is it came in and it issued a ruling and said, the law that you're invoking to apply these tariffs, that's not what that law is about. So you don't have that authority, and that eliminated the tariff set under that law.
And Dr. Barrett, you've said this ruling could actually help President Trump in the short term. Could you kind of explain how that works?
Yeah, there's something of a silver lining here for the Trump administration, because with the tariffs struck down, that's going to put downward pressure on prices. So consumers might see the cost of some goods ease up a little bit, go down a little bit. And then there's also a chance that you're going to see some repayments to businesses that have been paying these tariffs, and that essentially acts as economic stimulus at a time that we're getting close to the midterm elections. And so if voters are seeing cheaper prices and the economy is going strong because of all this stimulus payment, we're talking about $100 billion worth of tariff money that could be refunded, that could boost the economy and help the Republicans as the elections approach.
And Dr. Barrett, with that in mind, could Americans really see prices drop if these tariffs are rolled back, and how quickly, if so?
Well, certainly you could see prices decline. Now, prices are what they call sticky, which means we're not going to go to the grocery store tomorrow and see that all of a sudden, eggs are $1 cheaper. But slowly over time, you could see the prices start to go down. Now, at the same time, the Trump administration has made it clear that it's going to fight this. And so it's going to invoke other laws to try to place tariffs on there. And so depending on how that goes, and I'm sure we'll see other court cases for that as well. So you could see prices go down, but depending on how aggressive the Trump administration is going to be, that could kind of slow the process down.
And Dr. Barrett, last one for you. Another thing to keep in mind, the government may have to repay billions in tariff fees. What kind of economic ripple effect could that create?
Well, again, $100 billion being injected in the economy, that's going to be quite a stimulus effect. But in the words of Amy Coney Barrett, right, it's going to be a mess to decide who gets what money and when. And the Trump administration, again, has made it clear that they want to fight this, right? They're not anxious to give the money back. There's a lot of budgetary issues there. And so it will boost the economy, but it's probably going to be a slow process of the courts issuing rulings saying, no, that they've got to turn this money over and then getting that into the economy.
Dr. Barrett, thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate you joining us tonight.
Thank you.